So Mr. Burbank Cards is back to show us how great his store is doing and how everyone in the hobby is collecting and how everyone should be focusing on it. Let's check in on him.
Then a full store. That is the best marketing, period. The player section. Cliff is inundated in the player section. 250 names at $1 a piece. Kids going through, pulling single cards, having a blast. I got Bella over there. She's helping out. Look at the traffic on this side of the store. Absolutely insane. But then there's the quarter systems. Folks going through cards, filling boxes.
Now, do you think this man is going through cards because he wants to collect them? Or is he doing it because he wants to flip them? I'm going to bet on the latter.
So you can see all the boxes. It's crazy. The gentleman's looking at 2014
Does this guy look like he's here to collect?
football. I must have 6 or 7 of that year alone, right? You finding some? I saw some Mike Evans rookies you pulled earlier. It's pretty sweet, man. Pretty sweet.
He's going to sell those as soon as he gets home. He's going to mark them on up and dump them.
All kinds of Easter eggs. This is the hobby, folks. Don't get it twisted. It's not breaking. It's not influencers. This is exactly what the hobby is. Right, Gabe?
This is the hobby.
This is the hobby. Not breakers. It's people who get it, take them home, and do it themselves. That's the hobby. They listed on eBay.
Hobby. We got PSA taking subs up until 4 o'clock today.
Yeah, because people are going to pay for PSA just because they want their car in a slab, right? Or are they doing it because they want to sell it?
One side of the store. Let's go to the other side. Collector's Court. Best thing in the whole industry there. We have the line at checkout here. We got 3 folks, I think, up front here. We got Andrew holding it down. We got Nate. I've even brought in the card mother, Sally. Busy. She can't even talk to the camera. Did you guys all have a good time at Burbank here?
Always.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet, come up.
Awesome. All right, we got more folks coming in.
The most popular parts of sports card shows.
Oh my God. Can I just say one thing about this guy right here? I could just make a whole video about it, so I'm not even going to go in there. Just be on the lookout for that video.
Here, I'm going to start right now. I'm going to spit it out. It's a lazy industry. The card father has a hot take. It's a lazy industry. Collecting is dead. You'll hear the spouting of the talking heads on YouTube. Nobody collects anymore. No, it's just a casino. That's all that's going on.
Here's the thing. Collecting, I don't think anyone really thinks collecting is dead.
Well, that's bullshit. And I think I've proved it at Burbank. I've been screaming from the rooftops ever since we started having this conversation.
Okay, here's where I decide, okay, I'm going to make a video about this because
that the hobby still exists and that there's an 80% silent majority out there and a 20% vocal minority. And everyone's like, oh man, he's just an old man screaming, get off the lawn. But now I'm proving it. Now I'm putting it into action.
Yeah, you didn't prove
Now
anything.
You're seeing when you walk into Burbank that 80% of the people that come through here are seemingly going through singles.
Right, sure.
Have you seen it? Have you watched the videos? Have you seen what's going on?
They aren't doing that because they want to collect the cards. Maybe some of them are, but a lot of those guys, grown men, are in there to get cheap cards to flip. They're not going through those boxes to collect. Maybe the little girl that we saw is going through the boxes to collect, but everybody else, all those grown adults walking around, they're there to flip.
The problem that people think that collecting is dead is those same people that are spouting this nonsense have not made it easy for folks to collect cards from them. Think about that for a second. Go to a card show with any specific need and stop by a table. The vast majority cannot help you. They may even have the cards, but they never brought them. They never organized them.
Now, this is really spot on. Like when he starts talking about the organizing and stuff, it gets me really inspired, yo. Really inspired because, you know, part of the fun of cards, as I am actually a collector, part of the fun is actually sitting down, fondling the pictures of men, swiping through. I can't even say the words for it, but it's organizing, and yeah, that is actually the fun part of it. So, and a lot of people don't do that, and that's because they don't collect. They just put them all in a pile and try to sell them.
You can't buy the cards from those folks. Go to a lot of the stores, especially the new COVID stores. Make a request. I'm looking for X. And don't really have it organized, don't really have it set up. And the problem is they might even have the cards that you're looking for. This makes it incredibly hard for people to collect cards when they can't go somewhere, sit down, go through the cards, and find what they're looking for. Hence, no collecting going out there. Nobody's doing this anymore. Everybody is ripping. Everybody is breaking. We've gotten past all that, and it's bullshit. People want to go.
I think, yeah, I watched that guy. It's another guy I watch. I can't think of his name, but he has people call in, and they always are saying how they got the card in a break. And I'm like, I'm always shocked at how many people are actually doing that stuff, because I guess it's just a lot more stupid people than there are smart people.
Go through cards. People are excited about putting their hands on cards, and they're even more excited when there's a level of organization involved. Many conversations. I've been on the showroom floor virtually the whole time that we've been open. Almost 0 times sitting in the office, and all I'm doing is having conversations and talking to people and seeing what their passion is. I had a gentleman in the store this weekend that was going through the 94-95 basketball box, going through the cards. Virtually everything is inserts, rookies, parallels, and he's looking for a Chris Webber Tower of Power, I believe, to finish his insert set that he started when he was a kid. Found it. Quarter. 94-95 box. Wasn't just a rando box of basketball, which would more than likely just contain mosaic.
Now, here's the thing. His store will be successful. The way he has it set up, it will be successful, because it is if it's organized like that, and he's just really putting cards in it, he doesn't really care, especially if he doesn't really care about the values of the stuff in the box. He's just putting gems in there. He will have people coming back. The organization will help him a lot.
This and optic that. No, it was a box that was specific to 94-95 basketball that he was able to pull off the shelf, sat down, was able to fill a 200 count box for $40, walked out and made a specific note to come and see me and thank me. That's pretty damn cool. Really, how much work is it? Everyone's like, oh my God, that is so much work. I don't think you have to have a full 3,200 count box by year for people to go through. You can simply have a 3,200 count box by year divided in the same box, if that's the amount of cards or that's the amount of effort you want to put forth to it. That section takes up 200 square feet. You see shops that are 200, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 square feet. They can certainly put something like that in there and have some level of organization. Why don't they do it? In most cases.
And now this is the other part. Is he taking shots at Geoff Wilson here? Are shots being fired? Is he saying, hey, you want to do it, you're doing it wrong. You got all these glass, it's just glass cases and seal wax, and you got all this space that you're taking up with couches and furnitures and breaking cabanas. You're gonna fail. Is he trying to teach Geoff something here?
Cases, people have the cards. You're buying cards. Problem is, it's just stacked up in 5,000 count boxes in the back room, and it's too much work. And I'm like, really? You're a professional retailer. It can't just be fractionalized gambling. All we're going to do is put some slabs in the showcases. We're going to put some product on the wall, right, and we're going to have a breaking operation.
That sounds like he's taking shots at Geoff, man. I'm sorry. It's like, cause that's exactly what Geoff Wilson is doing, man. He's got glass cases, seal wax, let's break open some boxes. You know what I'm saying? Let's break some cards.
And you'll be the first person to say, nobody collects cards anymore. Think on that for a second. Maybe you haven't made it easy for those folks to collect. I go back to the player systems back there. And folks are like, let me look at the Vince Carters. Let me look at the Randy Mosses. And they just lose themselves for hours. Yeah. They're going through cards. They're like, this is amazing. I collect Randy Moss cards. And you know where they're usually collecting them?
It's almost like I hope that nobody copies him with this idea, because it's funny because he's actually the collector. The fact that he collected cards for all this time, that's what he's been doing. Like he buys little cheap cards and collects them for a long time. And it's like now he's able to reap the rewards of that just by having an endless inventory now. And it's organized. He kept it organized. That's the most inspiring thing about all of this.
They have to go on eBay, and they would much rather buy them in person. As someone said to me, and I've been saying this all along, shopping online is a cold experience. They want to physically go through cards. Let's face it, most professional retailers have cards of Vince Carter, have cards of Randy Moss, but can you access them as a collector?
Right.
No. And I'm not saying that the individual might be lazy themselves, but they're not willing to put forth the effort to have someone that they've
You can always find a LeBron section. You can always find a Jordan section, a Tom Brady section. But yeah, all these other players, no. It's in the year. They'll have a box with the year in there with a whole bunch of stuff that you don't want.
Organize those cards and put them into a system. You don't need to have the Randy Mosses alphanumerically by year from 98 to 2012.
It's like maybe 10 years is too short, but we'll say 10 years. In 10 years, who's going to still be around? Burbank or Cars HQ? My money's on Burbank. Or maybe Cars HQ will maybe still be around, but who's doing better? I don't know though. Geoff Wilson has a lot of marketing power. But I like this guy more. Geoff Wilson feels fake, man. It feels like he's a poser almost. Not really a poser. He's into it, but he doesn't really know what he's talking about. He's starting to get better, but you can tell that he's still learning. You know, he's still learning. This guy knows everything already.
You don't need to be able to do that. You just need to have them in one place. And if you can't physically do it, at the very least, virtually do it. So someone can go to your website and go, oh, he does have these Randy Mosses.
I bet you Geoff Wilson starts copying him now. I bet you. I put money on it. Big money. He's going to start doing that. He's going to start buying cards, buying small cards. And I guarantee it, I see him do it so much. Like he's always like, Geoff Wilson's always molding and shifting and going where the wind blows. And it's like, the old cards are. First he was modern. Then next day he's in vintage baseball. Next day he's, I'm going to the sports card show and I'm buying, basketball. Like he's always going where the wind blows. He walks around like a degenerate. He doesn't walk around like a sports card owner.
Maybe he doesn't have the room in the showroom to do and put it out there, but at least he has it on the website. Not so much. I'm looking at a lot of stores and wondering where the website is. And if I see the website, I'm wondering, where are the singles? I'm like, what do you do with all of those cards that you intake? And there needs to be a plan. Because if we want the hobby to grow and thrive, we need to have an entry point, a gateway for those folks to come in. They shouldn't come in and see big influencers screaming and yelling about how great breaks are for the hobby and that you should throw $40 down on this break. And that
I would like to talk to this guy because my biggest question for him is, how does he keep his employees, and Geoff Wilson too, how do you keep your employees from stealing and putting cards in their pockets when you have so many? I guess, like how do you keep them from doing that? How do you trust that they're going to list that card for the right price and stuff like that, man?
Likely are getting $8 worth of cards back. And then you're like, is this the
how do you keep up with that many cards? Like, how do you know which card? Like, if somebody orders a card online and you got 1,000 of them or 50 of them, how do you know which one they ordered?
hobby, or is this Vegas and am I just a sucker? That can't be it. We need to graduate people. We need to have something they can come in, put their hands on and go, oh my God, I feel like a kid again. Oh my God, this is so cost effective. Oh my God, I just walked out of that store for $30 and I had a great time for 2 hours. You know what? Maybe at some point they're going to graduate to buying a box, and maybe they're going to graduate to breaking. They probably won't graduate to breaking. Once they see how it is to collect cards, put your hands on cards, come up with a game plan to how they're going to work in the hobby, because once they see that, they're more than likely going to look at breaking now that they're actually educated and go, you know, I could have bought the box for X. I could have bought the box. I could have bought a pack for X times 10%. But now I'm getting into a break at X times 40%.
Yeah, breaking is
Why
so
the hell am I
stupid.
doing that? When I can sit there and just buy the singles from that box that I actually
why
enjoy
do that
for.
when you can just buy the pack and open it yourself? I don't get, I guess opening a pack by yourself is kind of boring when you think about it. Because when I open packs, I always do it on video. So I guess that's why. Because if I'm not doing a video, I'm not opening any packs. So I kind of get it there. It is more entertainment, but why would you pay so much more?
Fraction of that. And that's what we're trying to build at Burbank. We've even built kiosks into the building where you want to look at Randy Moss cards, boom. They're $1 a piece. This is what I have on the showroom floor. I got 500.
Of course, Rob does speak on a topic that
Yeah, how do you know? I guess the kiosk, you can, it's in store, but when you're selling stuff online, I guess you have the online stuff in the back. Yeah. Anyway, because I want to open up a store eventually. That's why I think about this stuff. And maybe I probably will. If I stay on this journey and keep doing videos and stuff, I probably will. Let's listen to Sports Card Dad for a few seconds. Let's try to, at least.
we agree very much on, that I don't know if we need to triple down any more than we already have in the sports card hobby on the gambling side. It's already there. We've already got players there. There's a lot of different people that are doing it. It seems like that's kind of the easiest.
Nope, I can't do it. All right. Make sure you guys subscribe if you like this video. I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.